WordPress is a behemoth. It powers 43% of all websites online. And when you look at just CMS websites, it powers 62%. So that's over half of all the CMS content management system websites on the entire internet. It's wild. So I thought to myself, hey, let's do a challenge. I'm not a coder. I've never coded any plugin or anything like that. Can I create with completely free tools a fully functioning WordPress plugin? Let's dig in and see the results. I think you'd be really happy with. So at the end of the day, I was really happy with what I was able to achieve. I decided to code this in the free version of Claude. So this was something that I really didn't think about. I didn't even want to put a lot of effort into, but I wanted to show you how easy it is to create something. Now, the idea I thought was, hey, let's do a grammar checker, because I know when I write, sometimes I just fly and have a couple grammar errors. And the thing is, it's really easy to have those, particularly when you type. And me, I studied English in university. That's what I majored in. So I understand grammar. But the thing about grammar errors is sometimes when I read my own writing, I just skip over and I don't see a spelling or a wrong word because I know what I'm trying to say. So anyhow, I've used a couple plugins in the past. I wasn't really happy with them because of the thing that you see with a lot of plugins is there's the crippleware. So it works for a little bit, but it may take up a lot of resources on your computer that you may not want to use on your server. And there's a lot of extra stuff that you don't really need. Too many colors, all that kind of stuff. So what I wanted to do was to create this. So I used Claude, as I said, and I actually just made a very simple prompt in the beginning. Can you code a WordPress plugin that scans all posts for grammar errors? That was it, okay? And it created this grammar checker, and this is version 1. And then I actually have refined that. There have been some persistent bugs that I've needed to reprompt, hey, can you fix this? Can you fix this? That type of thing. And now I'm on a different version. Now, the current version is 54, but that's not really the accurate version because sometimes when I asked it to make a change, it would skip a few versions, I guess, because it was doing different things as well. Now, in the beginning, I was able to just keep coding and vibe coding as I was going. And because the plugin was smaller and there was less history, you could have some back and forth all at once, which is very helpful for coding because anytime you focus, you want to be focused on that task. Now with the free version of Claude, usually when I ask it to do something, because it's loading in all the history, I can only make one change and then I'll need to wait and then I can come back and do that. But I wanted to show you what this plugin actually does. So we'll just go in here, and this is one of my sites here, and I haven't installed the plugin on this site before. And this is one of my sites. I haven't installed the plugin on this before, but I'm going to go into the WP content and I'm going to go into the plugins, and then I'm going to add in this code. So basically what it does is, and I didn't even have to connect this with any APIs. It's a grammar checker, and all I need to do is create a folder called grammar checker in that folder. And so what I'm going to do is just create that folder. Again, this is the version 1. So I want to show you the first version and then what it does now. So I'm going to create this folder, and then I'm going to upload the file. So with this, I'm going to select the file that I want. And this is version 1 here. So it's only 9 kilobytes. And that was just the version by Claude right here, this very first version. So what I did was I select all, copy that, and I put that into a text editor called Sublime. And then I would just paste that in. So copy, and then I will paste that in, and then I just save this as version 1. So now back on my site here, I've got the file uploaded. This is how easy it is to install this plugin and run it. And let's see what it does, the version 1. Again, just to remind you, I've never coded a plugin before. This is not my bag of tea. This is not something that I've done before. But this allows me to solve little problems. And sometimes I even like coding my own solutions rather than using a different kind of a plugin. Okay, so here's the grammar checker, version 1 here by your name. You'll see that. And so let's activate it. Okay, plugin activated. Okay, and right here, it's put a grammar checker right here. This is the plugin. It nicely put it right here near the top. And basically, it just scanned all the posts. So this is going to scan all the posts for grammar errors. And I didn't connect any API. This was just freely accessible. And let's see what it does. So one thing you might notice is there's no progress bar here. That comes in later versions. But let's just wait and see how it goes. Okay, so this is an early version of the plugin. And we're going to do a scan. And click check all posts. Okay. So now you'll see that this has a progress bar, and it's going through and checking all of the posts. And then it's going to tell you what the problems are. So basically, as we're going through that, I made some changes to this. So I asked some different things. That was a timeout issue. And this just goes on and on. And here's version 12. And I just had some little text non-alignments. This was a persistent thing that I went through, and it was still a little bit unreliable, and it made some changes. So it completely ignores the API offsets, blah, 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 and fixes it. Okay, so the interesting thing here is now we are on version 49, and let's look at how this works now. I've already cleaned up some of the grammar on this site with this plugin, so keep that in mind. You're not going to see a lot of the errors. But what was nice about this is it took care of some of these different things. So I've added a custom dictionary where I can add different things. I can remove and I can bulk remove different items from the custom dictionary. And it can also ignore certain errors if I don't want to add it to the dictionary, but I don't want it to change. Okay, so these are some things that I added. Also, a little more granularity in how many posts it can check. So this is what it will do now, is it can check some of the posts, and then it will get back with you. So let's see, here we are now in last version is version 54. So I just made some extra changes about some more granulation on how you can search for different posts. But essentially this is where it's at now. And I really like this plugin because I actually find it useful, and it's not going to eat up a lot of resources. It's only going to run when I'm actually running the plugin. So it's not going to be something that's causing overload on the server or anything like that. You see this one here is checking. So this was a problem because if you have 1,000 posts on your blog, it's going to take a long time to go through it. No cancel button, but be that as it may. All right, so now let's check these, and you can see that I've got a nice little drop down. This one's clean. This one still has issues. So if I do the drop down, I can actually add things to the dictionary. I can go in and edit that. I can go in and edit that and change better pressure to better pressure, strobing. I can apply a fix to that. Sharpness, and it's adding a comma here. So I can go on and I can save this. I can also edit directly in here. So if I need to change something a little bit more granularly, I can do that as well. And then I can scroll to the next post and go through and look at some of these errors. So we still have a couple issues that are coming up here, but overall, this whole thing has been coded just with Claude, and I've been able to make some changes on my site that have changed some bad grammar on the site for free. So I don't need to buy a plugin. I can just make one with vibe coding. And I want you to check out my course. I've got a course on vibe coding. I'll put a link in the description. This is going to allow you as a non-coder, without touching any of the code, to be able to do all of these really cool things. So definitely check it out. And remember, WordPress powers a lot of the internet. So this is going to be very powerful for those that have an idea or a solution and you want to present that to the world. So check it out. And if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel and check out some of these other videos that I got on the screen right now. All right, we'll see you in the next video. Keep it locked in and keep coding.